75% of the banks we talked to, had no idea what instant payments was or its relevance to them. They always say faster payments equals faster fraud, but it's sort of a myth because it's a push payment.
I think it's important to talk about these things, and there are so many elements to the instant payments which you're going to mention in your course. Hello everyone, and welcome you to Scholtes Institute, where I'm talking to Marcia Klingensmith, who is an instant payment expert. She had a really great long journey ending up in her own consultancy. She's going to share her story with us very shortly. Instant payments today affect every payment method, and I think it's very important that we are talking about it. So thank you very much, Marcia, and tell us a bit more about your journey. How did you end up with instant payments, and overall, what are instant payments to start with?
Oh my goodness, that was a lot of questions, Viktoria. Well, first of all, I'm really glad to be here with you in this lovely island having this interview. So first of all, I guess I'm known as globally as the Instant Payments Maven. So I have a brand that's not only US focused, but I also work with instant payments around the globe. So continually to develop my expertise in different areas as the industry grows itself. I am CEO of Fintech Consulting, and I started my consultancy about 2 years ago, and that was after I was working at FIS building out real-time payment rails for the non-tier 1 banks. It was a managed service approach, so basically kind of a rinse and repeatable instant payment product that made instant payments accessible for community banks, credit unions, mid-sized financial institutions. And it was part of that, in that role, when we were talking to banks, 75% of the banks we talked to, had no idea what instant payments was or its relevance to them. And with 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck and 82% of banks failing due to cash flow challenges, I felt it was really, instant payments can help these problems, and I felt it was really important for me to help these banks stay relevant to the communities that they're serving. So that's kind of how I got started. But just a little blip on my background, I started my career IT project management, 8 years, technology delivery, so really understand that. And then from there I went and did 12 years in financial services, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So best practices in product management, end-to-end. And then I pivoted to the cybersecurity space, spent 5 years in cybersecurity at Wells Fargo, at Visa, and at LexisNexis. And so that's really where I got a grounding on all these great capabilities to protect consumers. And so this package all comes together when I work with financial institutions, right? Because I have the technology framework and the project structure. I understand the banking business end to end, and then the cybersecurity. Everybody's biggest concern with instant payments is about how do we protect the customer.
Yes.
And so how we got protected is in Europe, you have this SEPA instant payments mandate, and instant payments across the globe, there's a lot of things that are just fundamentally the same. And so the areas where I help the financial institutions is, it's a significant overlap. And I help the financial institutions just figure out what's their strategy, who's the customers they're serving, how can they use instant payments to best help those customers, and then help them, think through the whole process and take it from start to finish.
It's very interesting that you mentioned a lot of different areas, but they are all pointing towards the same thing, the instant payments, right? So it's regarding the cybersecurity, the technology, the project management, but somehow today everything is summarized in one point, which is the instant payment. So tell me a bit more about, I know instant payments is instant and payments, right? But elaborate a bit more about that. Why is it important, and why not? Why now? Why not, 5 years or 10 years ago? What just happening that it seems to be that everybody's talking about instant payment today? What happened?
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the industry. I think a lot of it is just like the technology and capability, right? Instant payments, in order for instant payments to happen, you have to have a lot of information available in real time, and you need to make decisions on the payment in real time. And so that requires real-time data, real-time insights. You need the infrastructure that goes across the network. And I think we're really at a pivotal point in time when all these things are available, right? You have your cloud-based architecture, which gives you access to multiple data points. You have APIs and microservices that let you pull information in real time. You have AI that can help you analyze transactions and determine if this is a good actor or a bad actor. So there's a lot of technology things that are just really supporting the ecosystem. And of course, all the different countries are competing to build these capabilities up. But like Europe's had it for 10 years, right? US, we had instant payments, 6 years ago, and we just recently introduced FedNow. Different parts of the world have had, UPI in India, 10 years. But it's really needed because what the value that instant payment brings is that it gives you immediacy, obviously. Like, the transaction moves in real time. It's 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you're needing to pay your bill and you're waiting till you have enough money in your account, like instant payments gives you the ability to wait until like Saturday evening or Sunday evening at the last minute and just paying it at the last time. So sometimes we call these like precision payments, right? So that allows you to control it so that you can wait till you have the money in there. And then it's 24/7, and it's a push payment. And so what this actually means is, I know they always say faster payments equals faster fraud, but it's sort of a myth because it's a push payment. So you have to be in your account, initiating that transaction, pushing that information out to the customer. Whereas with a lot of these other, payment mechanisms, if somebody intervenes or gets access to your information, they can be pulling funds out of the account. So it's a lot harder to execute fraud with an instant payments transaction. And then it's irrevocable. So that means that as soon as you get that money, you can spend it. Yeah. So it's really great for businesses, though, to help them manage their liquidity. Like maybe there's a great real estate property or a hot investment, or they need to redeploy cash to, buy inventory. With instant payments, you can have, again, that precision control in your business to say, okay, I've got the funds for this, now I can go buy inventory. Maybe you're a small business, right? And you need to keep your inventory fresh to keep things going. As soon as you get paid for one thing, you can be buying goods to restock. So it helps consumers, it helps small business, it helps big businesses. And there's just one more element that I want to highlight too, which I feel is like really exciting, is like the ISO 20022 messaging. And I know, like, anytime anybody says ISO, people's eyes glaze over. So I've nicknamed it like the financial Rosetta Stone to just help build the excitement and awareness around what the value that ISO 20022 messages means to folks, because with these payments, not only instant payments, but like, wires and, like the SWIFT transactions, the whole industry across the globe is standardizing to this new message. And so that will help us improve like cross-border transactions, but also it just enables a lot more what we call rich data, a lot of data to be packed into these payment messages. And so, like it's for people who still like to write checks, a lot of the times they like to write checks because they can stick it in an envelope and there can be like little messages or other pieces of information, and businesses still use a lot of checks. So ISO 20022 is really cool because now you can take all that information and pack it digitally into the payment transaction and ship it on its way. And then you can, again, use AI and APIs to match that up in the different systems that it's going to. So I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you or the audience.
No. I think it's important to talk about these things, and there are so many elements to the instant payments, which you're going to mention in your course, I guess, because there are so many other layers to it. There is the security element, there is the trust element, there is the element of why banks would like to use that, because in this case it's just all the pressure is on them and the responsibility, and they don't get to hold your funds for a couple of days, which could be, earning them a little bit of money. So there are so many information that we need to discuss. What is in your course? What is the focus on your course? And whoever is finishing the course, what can they learn about instant payment and how they can use that knowledge in real life business.
Yeah, so very excited about the course, and this is just the one of what I hope to be many courses that will elaborate, because instant payments is kind of like the low-hanging fruit on a payment modernization journey, and so really want to help financial institutions and even fintechs, on this journey. So in the course, we kind of give more context. So we set the background, like what is instant payments, what are the attributes, where are the places it adds value for businesses, for all the different stakeholders, banks, the businesses, the fintechs, and how the whole ecosystem comes together. And I talk about the different use cases, I give different examples for different payments across the globe and what can be learned from them. And then I give kind of like a specific action plan for the financial institutions and for fintechs and businesses and merchants to just say, hey, this is what it means to you, and this is how you should be thinking about it. And then I also have some real world use cases. So I think it's very holistic. So if you're looking to get a deep dive and a good sense of what's going on, this is really going to be a great foundation course to help you understand instant payments a lot better.
Amazing, can't wait. So thank you. Thank you so much for actually sharing all your wisdom and helping businesses, because the whole idea is that we are creating a much more transparent and much more ethical industry together. And we can only do that if we are talking about the problem and we are talking about what businesses face, and we find solutions for them together.
Yes, the industry is just evolving so fast, and I'm really looking forward. I mean, there's so many exciting changes that, like, once this becomes the standard across the globe, like, that's when innovation really starts, right? Because now you can start embedding instant payments and experiences. We can help with all these cross-border payment challenges with these people who are sending remittances back home. We're going to make it more cost-effective. It's just going to be a different world 5-10 years from now. So I'm just really excited to be part of, like, making the difference across the globe and just helping us get to the next level where everybody's living in a much better society.
Exactly. That's the whole goal, to make it easier for everyone, right? Instant and easily accessible. So we have all this information now. I'm sure that there are a lot of opportunities here, and I'm thinking about the low-hanging fruits, which are the most easily accessible benefits of this whole system. Can you share a bit of information on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, so one of the things that I've seen as I've talked to, like, financial institutions is, like, in the U.S., we don't have a mandate for instant payments. And so one of the things I think about as I try and help them understand the value that this brings is, like, they might not be able to build a solid business case, at least now, for instant payments in a silo. But one of the exciting things about instant payments as these financial institutions join the network is they often work, or most of the time, they're working with third-party service providers. And what these third-party service providers are doing are helping them take their legacy infrastructures, and they're introducing these abstracted layers that make their data available real time. And so when they start with instant payments, now they start realizing the power of having data in real time, and they see a lot of possibilities about where this could go. So imagine with instant payments having a single API connection where you can access ACH and wires and Visa Direct and MasterCard Send, and then being able to see all your information in one place. So now you can start analyzing, like, which transaction do customers prefer, which transaction's more cost effective, maybe from a fraud perspective, because when bad actors come against your institution, it's not just in one channel. So, like, this starts giving you a picture of how fraud attacks are happening, and it allows you to take data and almost do an internal consortium view. So I see this as just like a very exciting start on the journey, and then you can start migrating your other capabilities onto this newer platform. So I see this as kind of like the fast track path to get financial institutions off their legacy systems onto the cloud in kind of a low risk, incremental value add journey. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to help institutions do, is get off those yucky legacy systems onto the cloud, using instant payments, and optimizing and making efficient, like, their whole system, and then helping them serve their communities better. So that's kind of my passion, is taking this instant payments as the low-hanging fruit on this whole payments modernization journey.
And make sure that everybody benefits of that.
And everybody benefits. The customers, the businesses, the banks, the fintechs, like, the whole ecosystem comes together in this beautiful orchestrated flow. Nice.
One more question. everybody is talking about open banking, and that could revolutionize everything. Do you think that instant payment had to come first to support open banking, or open banking would still exist without having even instant payments? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, so open banking is different based on the country. So in the U.S., our open banking regulation, which is Dodd-Frank 1033, is mostly data focused. In Europe, you also have the payments aspect, which is, really exciting. So there's a lot more you can do there. But in general, I think the way to think about the open banking is it's additional data that you can use for all your transactions. So in the case of payments, right, we were talking about ISO 20022 earlier, is that rich data that you can get from open banking can also be pulled and inserted in these messages to inform that messages and being sent on, so that you can help you with your AI analysis. So you can do, your personalization, your automation, your reconciliation, your fraud detection. There's so many doors it opens up, and open banking is part of a customer journey. So imagine opening up an account, and you can have more information about that customer to do your KYC or provide a more streamlined experience. And then when you're funding that account, you can use instant payments to automatically fund that account so you don't lose your customers. And then when they're maybe applying for a loan product, open banking can help you underwrite that customer because you'll have more insights. So that's also a great financial inclusion tool, because now you can start offering loans to people who maybe you wouldn't have felt comfortable before. And then imagine then doing the auto funding of that loan with instant payments. So you disperse the funds, and now those people, the reason why they're applying is because they need those funds to do some activity. So now they have the funds and the confidence to go ahead and spend that money. And it's just a great experience, and everybody benefits. And so I just see all these different buzzwords that we hear in the industry as silos. Really, they come together in one big, beautiful picture. And so just really excited about the possibilities these bring.
Amazing. And what do you think? What's the future for all of the instant payments and all of the finance efforts that we are all working towards? Let's say in 5-10 years time, what do you think is going to happen? Are we still using cards? Everything is instant payments? What's the responsibility of the banks? What is the customer experience that the receiving ends get?
It's so hard to say for exactly what that's going to look like. And I know people like their cards. Cards and instant payments serve different purposes, right? People put money on credit cards because they don't want to pay for their goods now. They just want to maybe, delay that payment to the last possible minute so that they can use their funds for something else, or maybe they just need to defer their payments. So I think each payment type still has its role. And even what we've seen in today's society is that instant payments, well, except in Brazil, but that's another story that we can talk about on another time. But for the most part, what we see when instant payments arrives, it's additive to the industry. People still continue with their credit card use in the appropriate places, and they still continue with their debit card use, and so the behavior still changed, but now they find new ways to interact, so new products and new solutions and embedded transactions. So think of this as a way to kind of grow the ecosystem. It's not like cannibalizing revenue. It introduces new revenue streams, new ways to attract customers. So what I see is a world where there's going to be more connectedness between countries. We're going to have money flowing back and forth. I think fraud is actually going to I think the bad actors are really going to have a harder time, because what happens now is fraudsters really take advantage of the float when money happens between countries. It's if there's a gap between when it leaves the country and you don't get the money right away and you're not informed until it's received, there's a lot of things that happen in the middle there, where is if the transaction's instant, if that's a bad actor, you're going to catch it the first time and they're not going to be able to do that same bad activity again. So this actually closes the net and helps us catch bad actors a lot quicker. So I envision a much safer, secure world where families can help send money back to their loved ones, in their other country, and where businesses can be more efficient because payments and data are moving in real time. it's we're going to have other problems to focus on, and it's not going to be about the payments. I guess that's all I got to say there.
All right, so we are moving towards a seamless payment facilitator globally, which is handling everything and filtering out the bad actors, right? I mean, that's the goal anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's something that it doesn't get talked about much about, how from a global perspective you can actually get rid of the bad actors. So I think that maybe that's something that we should expand on another conversation as well, is what could that aspect of instant payments look like?
Yes. Amazing, great. Anything else that you should be?
I think we
don't squeeze me.
I think we've just built another course right there. So maybe we should. No, just kidding.
No, but thank you so much, and I'm really excited to have Marcia as our guest lecturer in the Scholtes Institute and have the course. The course is readily available for anyone who is interested in instant payments, and there is so much more knowledge in the experts' minds that we are discovering. So thank you so much, Marcia.
Thank you, Viktoria. It's been quite a pleasure. I've enjoyed this interview and our other engagements. Looking forward to continuing to work with you as we build out this curriculum and some, staying on the cutting edge of technology. So as these insights evolve, we'll have the latest and greatest and most exciting capabilities of what it means for you guys, your financial institutions, whether you're a bank, a fintech, or a merchant. We'll have really great insights to share going forward. So looking forward to that.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.